Hey guys, so I'm back with another video, and to start off 2017 right, I'm going to go ahead and do my Bookalutions for this year, along with filling you in on how I did on my resolutions for last year. All of these resolutions revolve around BookTube and my book reading stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. So last year I gave myself 9 different Bookalutions to fulfill throughout the year, and I completed 4 of them. Well, technically I completed 3 of them, but I'm giving myself the 4th one, and I'll explain why in a moment. So my first Bookalution was to read 30 books in the year of 2016, which I surpassed by 3 books, but that's only because the other night I literally read all 6 volumes of Saga because I finally got the new one, and I was like, I just have to sit down and reread everything because it's been so long since I've read them. I just found out that Goodreads does not recount books that you've already read if you go back and reread them. So it's a good thing I have a completely different shelf for myself on Goodreads for just the books that I read that year, so I can keep up. My second Bookalution was to finish reading the Percy Jackson series, which I did. I finished them early this year, but the first 2 series, and let me just tell you, oh my god, why did it take me so long to finish the second series? I should have been reading it as they were coming out, but I was too caught up with other things. But I'm super proud of myself for doing that, and I am almost completely caught up on all of Rick Riordan's books. My third Bookalution was to read all of John Green's books, and I have almost done that. I have read all of the books he's written by himself. I'm currently less than 100 pages away from finishing Looking for Alaska. So that's why I go ahead and gave me this, because I'm already almost there, so why not just go ahead and give myself that book. I also read the book he co-wrote with David Levithan, Will Grayson. And I also read the bind-up he did with Lauren Miracle and Maureen Johnson called Let It Snow. Number 4 was to read 10 contemporary books, because I don't know if I've really talked about this on this channel, but I have a really hard time reading contemporary books because I just can't keep my interest in the story. That's why I love to read fantasy and dystopian, because there's always action going on, and the action is what continues to get me to read. So I really have a hard time with contemporary, so I really have to force myself to read them, because I'm there are so many great contemporary books that I'm just I really have to force myself to read them, because I'm missing out on so much, and that's where all that lovey-dovey, really cutie stuff that I really want to read is at. I did not read 10, however. I did read 7, so that's super cool. I'm really proud of myself for at least reading 7 of them. Another one was to restart the Mortal Instruments series. I know I talked about this in my last Bookalutions video. I want to start rereading a book at the end of each year, and then try to reread that series. This past year, 2015 going into 2016, I was rereading Percy Jackson and trying to finish it up. This year I wanted to start Mortal Instruments because I still haven't read the last book, and I also haven't read the prequel series, or prequel trilogy to it, and so I really wanted to read it, and I can't read City of Heavenly Fire until I read Infernal Devices. So I was planning on doing that, but then I've recently decided I'm going to Spain, so I was I really don't want to take 1,000-pound books with me, so I'm just going to push that off, and I'll talk about it in the second part of this video. The other one goes along with that. I really wanted to read the Infernal Devices so I can finish the Immortal Instruments, and then move on to Lady Midnight and the Shadowhunter Academy bind-up short stories. Next, I wanted to complete 5 series, however, I only completed 4, but that is completely fine with me. What I mean by completed is not the series is completely done and I've read everything, just if it's still an ongoing series, I've read all of the books that have come out for it. I made myself this goal because I have an forever growing TBR. I've run out of room on my shelves, which I am due for a book reorganization because it's the beginning of the year, and that's what I do every year to start the year off right. So look out for a reorganization video and a bookshelf tour coming soon. And my goal was to read at least 4 books that have been sitting on my shelves forever, because I have a really bad habit of buying books and then letting them sit forever before I finally get to them, because I always want to read the newer books, so I really made a goal to do that, and thankfully I did reach this goal. However, I surpassed it. I read 7 books that have been sitting on my shelf forever instead of 4, and I'm really proud of myself for that. Trying to get that TBR down. And my last Bookalutions for 2016 was to keep up with my book club picks, and I really did. I kept up. However, our book club kind of fell apart in this early spring this year, so I'm really sad. I hope we can pick it back up, but I know one of us is in high school and 2 of us are in college, and college is really hard, and it's really hard to read and have a social life and work and do schoolwork. Something always has to suffer, and sadly for me this year has really been my reading. Like, I read 2 books this entire semester that were not for my classes. So I mean, 4 out of 9 is not completely awful, I don't think. So this year I've kind of stretched it a little bit. I have 13 Bookalutions for myself. Hopefully I can do more than half of them. That would be great. So first off, since I've reached my goal this year of reading 30 books, I want to read 35. Hopefully I can read 35. We'll see. Sometimes I have a really hard time reaching my yearly goal just because school is just so hard and like time consuming that I really don't have time to read. My second one is to finish the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. I read the first book, I think it was early this year, and I absolutely loved it. My cousin recommended to me like 2 years ago when I went to visit my aunt over the summer, and I absolutely loved it, and I bought the next like 3 books, and I just haven't been able to read them because school and trying to keep up with book club reads and all of that stuff, and they're like chunky books. But I have the rest of the series, and I'm actually going to take them with me while I go to Spain, so hopefully I will be able to finish that series because I absolutely love it. I love Brandon Sanderson's writing, and I love the way, like, he's just a master at fantasy, let's just put it that way. Goal number 3 is to read at least 3 ebooks. I don't know if I've ever talked about this on this channel, but I absolutely hate ebooks. Like, I don't like reading on my phone. I have a tablet. I don't like reading on the internet. It's just, it messes with my eyeballs and everything. However, I have realized that not every book is going to fit in my purse, but I have recently discovered this really awesome website that sends you emails every day with books in your favorite genres that are free or discounted on Amazon and like Apple Books and stuff like that. So I've recently been downloading a lot of those books because that way I have a book anywhere I go on my phone and I can read it from my Kindle account. So my goal is to at least read 3. Number 4, I'm just going to roll this over from last year. I plan to actually read the Infernal Devices trilogy because I have to, because I gotta find out what happens in Heavenly Fire, and I gotta read Lady Midnight because everybody has freaking read it but me. And the other one that goes along with that is I want to reread / finish the Mortal Instrument series. That is my goal. I will be so happy if I can do that this year. The next one is rolling again over from last year, is to read 10 contemporary novels because, like I said, I have a really hard time reading contemporary and I really want to actually get into it because there's a lot of really good contemporary authors that I've heard about. I'm like, I want to be like everybody else. I want to enjoy contemporary. The next goal is just like a personal thing. I want to read at least 10 minutes a day, no matter what, and hopefully that will help me boost up my reading during the semester, whether it be on my phone or different parts throughout the day. I just really want to read 10 minutes and help get back in the goal of like reading every day and like hopefully finishing more books than 2 a semester. Next, I want to read 2 new graphic novels. I have already mentioned I read the Saga graphic novels. I read the first 6 volumes, which is absolutely amazing. Next, I'm rolling this back over. I want to finish 5 series. Next, I want to read 7 books that have been sitting on my shelf forever because I need to just like bring the TBR down. Like, I've been really good about like not buying a shit ton of books this year, and so I want to keep it that way, and I also want to read a shit ton of books so I can like actually like stop saying like, oh, I've only read the first 2 shelves of my bookshelf and all the other like 8 shelves are books I haven't read yet. Next, I want to read at least 1 nonfiction book. Next, this goes along with my booktube channel. I really want to keep up with posting videos because if some of you guys have been around since like the beginning, there have been about 3 times that I have literally dropped off the map for like 6 months with like no news or anything, unless you're following like me on Goodreads or my social media accounts. You know I'm still alive, but I kind of just dropped off the face because school and just extracurricular activities like throughout high school, and then in college, like school and working, it's just really hard to find time. And I'm really, like, I've set up a schedule now. I actually post videos on Thursdays, so I'm really hoping to do that. I'm also going to do a lot of pre-recording from now on, so that way I don't have to worry about recording a video and then editing it and then posting it. I already have the video recorded. All I have to do is edit it and then upload it. And lastly, now please don't kill me over this, my last Bookalution goal is to read the first Harry Potter book. I am extremely ashamed to say this, but I have never read Harry Potter in my 20 years of life on this planet. I have not read Harry Potter, and it is very sad because I've seen the first 5 movies, I like the movies, and my best friend is a huge Potterhead. However, she has not finished the series either, so she can't give me shit. I'm looking at you, Laura. And, like, it's really sad because I even, like, went on Pottermore, and I know in my house, like, I'm a Ravenclaw, but I still haven't read the books, so that's gonna change. I'm gonna read at least the first book this year. I mean, I want to read more than the first book, but the goal is to read the first book. Anyways, that is it for my Bookalutions for 2017. Let me know down below some of yours, and we can talk in the comments and all that good stuff. If you want to be friends with me or whatnot, all of my social media links are down below. Add me on Goodreads, follow me on Instagram or Twitter, or, you know, whatevs. Until then, I'm Chrissy. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! And I can't just take it around with me. What?
I'm sorry. Were you recording?
Yes!
I'm sorry.
What?
I'll just see what you're doing.
Mothers can't live with them, can't live without them.